Voorhees Town Center. In an effort to save itself, the owners back in the 2000s tried to cut them all down and make an outdoor half to try and save it. However, even that move is starting to fail today. Let us go for a walk through this chopped down mall. Originally a plot of land being used as an airstrip at the time, the Rouse Company acquired the land and began construction in 1969 on what was originally the Echelon Mall. The mall would open in 1970 with the original anchors Strawbridge and Clothier, JCPenney, and Gimbels. With a little over 1 million square feet of space, the Echelon Mall at the time was the second largest mall in New Jersey, just behind Cherry Hill Mall until 2007. In 1992, an entertainment center called Exhilarama opened in the mall and would operate for a few years until 1996 when it closed. A few years later, a general cinema operating within the same building would close down, leading to the building being demolished for more parking space. The turn of the century would be pretty bad for the mall, as things began to decline after the year 2000. Echelon's problems were partially blamed on competition in the area, which included Moorestown Mall, Cherry Hill Mall, and Deptford Mall. Overexpansion was also pointed at for the mall's failure, as the mall had 4 anchors, with Sears being the most recent in 1998. And coincidentally, Sears, in a turn of events, closed just 3 years after opening, while JCPenney would flee as well. Gimbels also closed, its space being filled in by Lit Brothers for a brief time, and then finally by Boscov's, whom still remains to this day. Strawbridge and Clothier would also remain, though its space would be taken over by Macy's in the Great Acquisition of 2006. Priet came forward with a redevelopment plan in 2007, intent on demolishing roughly half of the mall to build up a new lifestyle center. These plans were approved and demolition began, leaving us with what we see today. Additionally, the Echelon Mall would now be renamed the Voorhees Town Center, the demolished half of the mall now being rebuilt into a boulevard strip with retail, offices, and apartment blocks. Or condos if you want to be fancy about it. Sadly, this effort was in vain for the mall itself, as tenants continued to close, likely because of the economic crash of 2008. Priet would sell the mall in 2015 to Namdar Realty Group for the low price of $13.4 million. This sale came after Macy's announcement that they would be starting to close locations. However, Voorhees Town Center's Macy's wouldn't close until 2017, which led to an exodus of inline tenants for the mall. 2018 would see the mall get tied up in legal matters as the Voorhees Township sought to acquire the mall as a redevelopment area. Plans mused for the mall's redevelopment would include attracting microbreweries and a transition to an atmosphere similar to Dave & Buster's. Later on, as redevelopers were sought out, plans would be further solidified in 2019 with intent to create a beer court rather than a food court. They would also bring in sports bars, laser tag, and outdoor movie nights. Additionally, the former Strawbridge/Macy's would be converted or demolished in favor of townhomes and apartments. And, of course, we now come to 2020. Voorhees Town Center is still open as of the making of this video. However, there is very little left to the mall besides Boscov's. Even the Tilt studio downstairs seems to be on its way out according to recent eyewitness counts. What does the future hold for Voorhees Town Center? Perhaps we'll never know. Unfortunately, I haven't much time to go into my own personal thoughts or feelings about this mall, but there were certainly one or two oddities during my October 2019 visit. While you won't see much of it in the video itself, gates into vacant storefronts were up, leaving opportunity to poke around inside. However, I'm sure that if you linger in those closed down spaces too long, Jason Voorhees will find you. Okay, that's not true. I just wanted to make a reference to Jason. So shoot me. But nonetheless, what did you think about the Voorhees Town Center, or Echelon Mall? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Share some of your thoughts down below, after prodding that like button and sharing this video. And do subscribe if you want more malls. We still have so much to see. Additionally, I can be found on Minds and Ko-fi, so stick around. Next Friday will be a trip to downtown Cincinnati in Ohio. So until then, this is Doomie Grunt, wishing you and the Voorhees Town Center farewell. Additionally, the former Strawbridge/Macy's